Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It might be time to finally throw away that PlayStation 5. Microsoft is showing their true colors with an amazing update, and we're all just as amazed as the last person, right? What a great thing this is. Like, Microsoft has really outdone themselves, and the fans are just going to be blown away by this. I mean, who wouldn't be blown away by this, right? What a great game. What a great time to be an Xbox fan. They really do go all out for us, don't they? I mean, we should realistically take a minute and say thank you, Phil Spencer. You guys rock. Thank you for thinking about us fans and doing the right thing always. It's so appreciated. Here's a round of applause. Thank you, Microsoft. You guys are amazing. Yeah, good stuff. Now, seriously though, this is funny. So, an Xbox, as you guys know, I've been harping on this a little bit. And the reason is I was actually genuinely looking forward to this year, the Xbox Wrapped. Everybody's doing one. YouTube, PlayStation, Nintendo, everybody, everybody's doing. Now the banks are doing them. But apparently Microsoft isn't doing one due to budget constraints. That's right. A $3 trillion company isn't going to do a Wrapped because of budget constraints. And listen, I have no problem with Jez Gordon, but his latest article literally is like the worst kind of damage control. This is like the reason why so many people are really just hate Xbox and the gaming media as a whole. Like, the guy, he's a good guy and he has some inside stuff or whatever, but you can't you can't say stuff like this, right? So the time of year is always exciting time when those with oodles of subscriptions or memberships to various online platforms, because that's when a Wrap presentation drops, like Spotify, PlayStation, LinkedIn, YouTube. Many platforms partake in the annual Wrapped Festival, offering key insights into your years of subscriber or member. That's all except for Xbox. And a recent report has claimed that Xbox isn't providing an Xbox Wrap presentation this year because the company has better things to spend its marketing budget on. Yeah, why let people look back at the year they had in gaming and what was supposed to be like the best year ever for Xbox, right? Like, oh, they released so many games, but then they don't even let people like see anything that they've gamed, their achievements, nothing. And I know there's some people go, oh, well, use that one site, that's a True Achievement or whatever. Here's the problem with True Achievement. First of all, it's a third-party site. Second of all, do you want to trust your gamer tag, your email, and password to a third-party site? Like, I certainly don't want to do that. And not even just kind of looking past that, the way that site is set up, it'll give you like kind of a rundown on things you got achievements on. But if you played a lot of an online multiplayer game that doesn't have a lot of achievements, you're not getting any credit for that. It's not going to show that as your most played games or a game that you're playing through again that you've already popped the achievements. So it's not the same thing as actually doing like a traditional Wrapped, there were Wrap presentations all over. Again, like I said, PlayStation, Steam, Discord, Nintendo, everybody's provided some kind of Wrap for 2025 in gaming. There's a veritable plethora of data for gamers to absorb, but it's important to stress, that it's just, for fun. In recent reports from Windows Central, however, it's claimed that Xbox isn't doing a Wrapped this year because there's far too much happening next year and the marketing budget wouldn't cover it. From Jez Gordon, and I quote, "My sources suggest that, as you might expect, given that it's now the 19th, the Xbox, or 20th, whatever, that Xbox is not doing a Wrap this year. A lot of marketing budget that would have typically been allocated to something like an Xbox Wrap is being poured into efforts to celebrate these major milestones for Xbox, its brands, and some of its games." Here's the thing, right? So True Achievement probably has no budget, and it probably only takes a couple of little, beep, 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 beep on a computer to update it so people can see what they did. And they don't have the budget to do that, apparently. Like, I mean, it's completely, I don't understand it at all. Uh, you know, especially since, whatever they're going to be doing next year isn't necessarily a celebration of Xbox the way that the fans think of Xbox, but more Xbox the way that Microsoft looks at Xbox now, right? Like, we're not getting anything specific to us, right? It's like anything we get is coming to PlayStation or Switch 2 or whatever. So realistically, yeah, it's a bad situation. As professed recently by the head of upcoming Developer Direct, there are milestones landing in 26. For instance, Xbox is celebrating a quarter century in the business with Bethesda. Is ticking off its 40th birthday. If you were holding out hope that Xbox was just waiting a bit longer than everybody else to release a wrap, you're out of luck. Yeah, so, so, it's like already been a rough enough year for Xbox fans. It's really difficult to be excited about the platform for a while now, and at this point, it's how can anybody have confidence in the future of the platform? Maybe 2026 will bring some radical change to the situation, and if the platform continues to exist, hopefully. But I don't think, with as down a year as it's been, and people and the way that people have been feeling about Xbox, it's kind of ridiculous that we didn't get something that's gonna wrap up the site or whatever. Like what we did in gaming. It's just, to think that Microsoft, like, you can't. You can't do a thing for the fans that have, put up with so much crap. We didn't have any exclusives. We never have any exclusives. It's like we don't have anything anymore. And you guys just took away the one thing that, like, people absolutely were looking forward to. It's kind of crazy. It's crazy to think that we can't have any of this kind of stuff. So, it's kind of insane the way that Microsoft thinks of a lot of things. The fact that the quote-unquote marketing budget that would have been typically allocated to an Xbox wrap is being poured into efforts to celebrate some of these milestones. Like, why not do both? Why not get people excited for the year they had, but also get excited for the future with that? If you can't do that, then what can you do? You know what I mean? So apparently that the big plans for the 25th anniversary next year, which is why you've seen some decreased activity from Xbox events in 2025. Like, they're not doing anything. Where's, like, the big fan fest? Where's anything? Some of the budget was moved through to next year to accommodate Blizzard having its first public BlizzCon. Like, who gives a shit about BlizzCon, right? Which is tipped to be its biggest ever, as it also reveals new content for Diablo, World of Warcraft, and StarCraft 2. That should be something completely different than, like, what console fan... Like, who cares? If you're a console owner, why the hell would you care about World of Warcraft or StarCraft? According to this, promo materials that he received for BlizzCon included logos for Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, and StarCraft, signifying that Blizzard still regards the sci-fi game series as a pillar franchise. Bethesda is also planning to launch new Starfield content in 2026, including a PS5 and Nintendo Switch 2 version. Bethesda recently teased that Fallout is being worked on in a big way. How does any of this stuff cut into the marketing budget or the budget to do a Wrapped? Right? Like, it's crazy. Also says we have a new Halo remake dropping in 2020. Like, listen, imagine Sony, like, we're not going to do a wrap-up. We got Wolverine coming. We've got Galactic coming. We can't do any of that stuff. Right? It's crazy, and I like Jez, like I said, but he's, like, pimping the True Achievements site for this stuff, which is, like, glitchy, like I said earlier. And, it's just, it realistically is not a good look. I played a lot of games on Xbox this year. I know people think I hate Xbox, but honestly, I played a ton of Xbox this year, and, it's kind of crazy that, I don't get to see what I actually made this year. I don't remember what I started off with at that, and I would have liked to see what my most played game was, and second most played, and all that kind of stuff, and hardest achievement, and where I rank in the rankings of, the entire whatever, but the fact that Microsoft is too greedy to do any of these things just blows my mind. I'm kind of pissed off about it. It doesn't make sense. I don't, I'm flabbergasted by this, and that there's sites saying there's a good reason for it. Like, listen, games that are scheduled to come out or being worked on shouldn't preclude from having stuff like this when everybody else can do it. And Microsoft is a multi-trillion-dollar company. Like, seriously. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys ticked off about this? Am I overreacting? Let me know. Rack 'em up. Crep Gamer out.